Good. Keep your hands in front of your stomach up. Don't go out. Much better. You feel it? Break it all down. Break it down.
I fund my free skiing by waiting tables. And this year I kind of broke down and had the mental breakdown of, do I want to keep doing this or should I start my career?
At Harvard, I studied studio art, and I don't necessarily want to be a fine artist as a profession, but I definitely know I want to do something like creative and hands-on. But I'm still waiting for kind of someone to tell me or something to tell me exactly what I should be focusing on.
I have a degree in finance, so waiting tables obviously isn't my dream. And that's when I came to Mountain Athlete, or to Rob, and I, spoke with him about how do I make this work? I want to have a career, but I don't want to give up skiing. I want to keep trying for this. I'm passionate about skiing, but I want to be passionate about work as well. And that was when Rob was like, all right, after your last comp in April, come in on Monday at 7 a.m. and start working. So it makes for long weeks and long days, but it's worth it. And I'm kind of getting more of what I want. And Rob always says, do you want this or not? Take it or leave it.
To have someone asking you, where do you see your life in 10 years because this professional skier thing, it might work out. There's a chance, there's a really small chance that this could turn into a career. But if it doesn't, what is your backup plan? So I still see myself in the mountains. I would like to continue to work towards my guide certifications, which I'm going to start this fall in lieu of waitressing and window washing year-round, which is fine. I could also do that, but I want some more tangible experiences in the mountains, and I want to be able to bring other people into the mountains and have them feel the same way that I do.
People a lot of times will ask me why I moved here, and it's always just a simple answer. I told him I moved here for skiing, and he was like, oh, are you an extreme skier? And I just kind of laughed it off and said yes. If I have time, I'll usually talk about it, and people think it's pretty cool, but a lot of people don't really understand it either. I think it's one of those sports that's not really in the public eye, but I think it's something we're trying to change at Mountain Athlete a little bit. We want people to know more about it and see it as something that can be a professional sport, like football or baseball.
There you go. Good. Keep your hands in front of your stomach up. Don't pull out. Break it all down. Break it down. Much better. You feel it?
And so my parents were very happy that I was living in New York and working in banking because that is what I wanted to be doing at that point. So when I talked with my boss about leaving to move to Jackson for 1 year, my parents were pretty supportive of that. Go out, check it out, and then come on back. And for them, I think it was a little bit more of Kaki's moving to Jackson. That's really far away. Not so much that I was leaving my job. They want me to achieve my potential, but they don't want that potential to get lost in some pipe dream that is just going to go play in the mountains. There's never been any pressure to necessarily do anything else. There's just been a focus on, can't you do this and have a more sustainable, career-oriented job?
We agreed that I got to spend a year out west, no matter what, and they were okay with that. And then 1 year turned into 2 years, and now it's gonna go on my 4th year. And there have been some tense moments. They want to see me go on to grad school or law school, which are both my future plans too. And they want to see me in a career and something safe and working towards that.
I think my parents are pretty pleased that I support myself and I'm not asking them for money or anything, and I'm taking care of myself. My dad definitely, every few phone calls will be like, so have you thought any more about law school? you know, which you'd think would have gone out the window when I was an art major, but he thinks I'm going to take over the world.
Like, we've had our moments of not speaking to each other, but I think they've come around and they understand that I'm organized. I'm actually pursuing something. I'm not just sitting around waiting for the next great powder day. I'm doing something with skiing. And they respect that, and they see that now I have a plan to pursue grad school or law school after skiing. And it makes them more comfortable to see that, that I'm not just throwing it away, but at the same time I know they want me to lead a more conventional life.
I feel like Jackson and my skiing, I don't necessarily think it prevents me from finding what I'm supposed to be doing, but it definitely is filling my time, so I'm not thinking about it all the time.
You know, some people take fluidity to a whole different level.
He actually goes to this gym called Mountain Athlete. Jackson, they build monsters. They call it the Monster Factory.
Don't look away, don't look away. Another one.
Look at the form on these turns, man.
100% commitment, that's what I'm saying. Is
He is
these
going
guys
to go
look
for
good
the
because
double
they're
off the
fun
rock
to
star
roll.
front spot.
I think that there's two big things that make a good skier, and it's creativity and intelligence. Because you need to be smart enough to realize your ability and the terrain you're on, and especially in competing, you need to be smart and realize who you're skiing for in terms of the judges and stuff, and you just need to be practical and I guess like thoughtful about what you're skiing. And then creativity comes in, because that's what makes skiing so much fun to watch, is when people do something cool, or I didn't think you could do that, or that's really neat, I didn't think that would go, and stuff like that. I do think that my art background and I'm very aesthetic and pay attention a lot to visual stuff, and so I think that is one of my strong suits when it comes to skiing, because I like to look for lines, you know, say when I'm competing, that are interesting and unique that maybe someone else hadn't done, not necessarily like the biggest drop.
I went to the University of Denver for both undergraduate and business school, and from there I started skiing as soon as I graduated. Luckily, I got a few good breaks earlier in my career and was able to establish myself and just kind of went from there. But my background in business school kind of, I think, gave me a step up in the ski world and let me understand all the elements of business and how to approach a company as not just another ski bum, but as somebody with something to offer.
Right now, this is exactly what I want to be doing. I'm learning how to stand on my own 2 feet and to make my money and to pursue the things I want to do. Being a professional athlete is more than just being a ski bum.
Right now, I'm 22 years old, and I feel like I can do a lot, and in the next few years, I have a lot of time to progress, and I have a lot of time to learn, and I think it would be a waste to not try to embrace it and do something with it. I feel that I have something that other people don't. I feel that it comes from where I grew up, it comes from my family, it comes from the experiences I've had, and I think that's what differentiates me from other people, is that I recognize it and I embrace it, and it's better to try and fail than not try at all. And regardless, it's not a failure, because I'm still doing what I love. So the reason I'm at Mountain Athlete and pursuing a professional ski career is because this is something that I don't want to look back on and to know that I could have potentially had a professional ski career, or could have had something in the industry. So this is a chance for me to pursue something on my own merit and earn it. And then I'll either be able to look back and say that was a great time, I learned a lot, or I became a great skier, professional skier. So no, it's not wasted at all. I don't want that regret though. I'd rather have tried than to never know.
I've been at this so long that there's so many different lessons that I've learned that I'm dying to pass on to people. There's a good way to do things and a not so good way to do things. But the best advice I think I'd give to people is just, keep working on it, keep working on it. Every aspect of your sport, whether it's strength, skiing, the business side of things, it all comes in together in one package. And if if you're weak in one of the areas, you're not going to succeed overall.